I'm sitting here in my garden on a, as you can see, probably rainy Friday morning. The desk, why am I calling it that? The bench you see directly ahead of you. On the left-hand side of that bench, when it was at another location in 2014, a couple of miles up the road, my father spent his last full, peaceful Saturday. He was reading a book and he had on one of those old summer hats. He was 82 years of age. He had been an army officer pretty much all his adult life, 40 years. He retired a full colonel and I loved every bone in his body. He was a saint. He really was. He was a religious man who kept it to himself. And as a result, you were in wonder with him. He was just very strong in his faith and conducted himself in a really kind manner, particularly towards people who were less well off. Always had the good word and the good deed and instilled in all of us to do the same. That was a Saturday. He went in. He was 82 years of age. Mum had passed. She had a terrible battle with Alzheimer's. By the way, I'm in my t-shirt at the moment. How hardy of me. I don't care. I want to get this out of my system. The chair back then, or the bench, whatever it is, was pretty grotty and it's not much better now. It was all worn. On Saturday he was there. His carer was there. He was still in his own home. And I watched him read. Monday, carer rang me and my dad had been taken into hospital with a urinary tract infection, nothing too serious, but his mobility was very bad at that stage. I did go in and he didn't seem great. I went into hospital. The following Saturday morning, he died of a heart attack, just suddenly. And there's no faux tears here or anything. In fact, I knew, and he knew, his time was coming to an end. It was sudden when he went, but I kind of wanted it that way because his quality of life had really dissipated. He needed his wife with him. And even a few weeks or months before he passed, he began to put up photos of his family around, which he'd never done before, his close family. It's almost like my father knew his time was up. Rain is really coming down now, like some kind of pathetic fallacy, is that what they call it? Anyway, I inherited that bench. I took it in. It was in an awful state. And indeed, I was getting the garden done one day and I told the guys, listen, would you ever get rid of that thing? And they were too lazy to do it. They said, no, why don't you renovate it and blah, blah. Anyway, I did. Badly, as you can see, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was. My father, I will remember you.